far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a dad. I'm going to tell the story from the father's point of view because it is often overlooked, and the assumption is that Black fathers are not involved in their children's lives. Over the years, I've approached music and videos with tremendous intent on sharing a positive light on the Black community who could stand to see better days.
It means a great deal of responsibility, you know? It means to be leaders. It means to be the narrative of our Black children.
You know, I grew up in a two-parent household. Even my father, when they divorced, they were still around. And so I try to instill that same love to my son, pass the torch, and let him carry on for the next generation.
This was a really special film for so many reasons. One thing that really stood out to me that I just absolutely loved and appreciated was this group of these like strong, emotionally intelligent, vulnerable, sensitive men who were not afraid to share their feelings, who were not afraid to cry, who were not afraid to really express how they're feeling with their friends, and then in response getting this wonderful support. It was just such a beautiful thing to watch. I think there's just so much strength when we can do that and feel comfortable to share our our deepest fears and struggles with our friends and family. And I think that alone is something that contributes to being a really, really great parent, because you're passing along those skills to your children, and especially to boys, where just like toxic masculinity, it plays such a big role these days. So I so appreciated that. I mean, in general for men, but like in particular from Black men, I think it's really, really important to have that strong sense of community. I think that it's really important subject matter to show that the, absent father stereotype is a real thing that happens, but it's not the whole story. And there are fathers who are out there doing everything they can to be the best father that they can to their children, and I think that they don't get enough of a platform and they don't have enough visibility. So I'm really glad that this exists. It was absolutely beautiful, and I loved getting to hear the inner thoughts and stories on what their experience is like as a parent. Great, great, great film.
Black Daddy the movie was excellent. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Because as like a Black man, I connected automatically already, just all through the experiences. Also, it had me thinking about my father and my relationship with my father, and like and how my father is really a legend. And so it made me, hearing these stories, it made me appreciate my father more, and like like come to a new understanding, like a new appreciation for my own father, and like our relationship, and like all the stuff that we've been through. And so I really appreciate that it told this story, and this story needed to be told, and more people need to see it. More Black people, Black men need to see it. This is powerful. This is excellent. Excellent. Oh my goodness. And then also the hip hop. You know me, I love hip hop. And so I'm always down for hip hop in any film ever. So it's like this was like it was integrated perfectly and everything. So really good job, really good job. I want to look up all these guys on Spotify now and stream all their albums because this was dope. Um, Excellent, excellent work. 10 out of 10.
The film did an excellent job of showing a number of Black dads together for fellowship. Many of the men involved in the film have a strong bond and call on their community and their spirituality. I was really impressed by the music in this film, the lyrics showing dads really honoring their kids despite their struggles. I was particularly moved by a boy who received many inspiring letters from his dad in jail, and also the fact that Dame's father actually died during the making of this film. This is a very important doc, giving these awesome dads a voice. Well done.
Black Daddy definitely dealt with a lot of topics that I feel like I can relate to, especially in the sense of your race and your family ties, because I know that I've had instances where, I've seen how African Americans and family are portrayed in the media, and just seeing my own life comparing the two. You know, a lot of renditions show, and a lot of people have had instances where sometimes you don't get that parental figure in your life, and it makes you, even when they can be strained at times, it makes you appreciate what you do have. And on the other side of things, especially with race, raising a family in this climate can be very frightening, because you don't know what'll happen to your family if you're gone, and you don't know what'll happen if, God forbid, something happens to your child because of the climate that we're in. And it was definitely very insightful.
So I really enjoyed watching Black Daddy. I thought it was such an incredible film, such an incredibly powerful film. And it was just really amazing to see this group of men really support each other. And I really appreciated the ways that you guys highlighted and showcased different stories of fatherhood, because I feel like oftentimes fatherhood looks different for everyone. And something that really was powerful for me was learning the term angel father, because I feel like that is such a part of parenthood that is so overlooked, and it's so important to highlight those stories as well. And overall, I loved seeing all the music that you've created out of these stories. It was just really incredible. And you talked about making the most out of your dash. And I think you're definitely doing that. And I think this is just a really great step in the right direction for just to change the narrative around Black fatherhood. So congratulations, it's really amazing. And I can't wait to see what you do next.
For me, as I said, the message was good. It was very heartfelt, very soulful. Bit of a vanity project, you know. Dame would do some of his tunes sporadically throughout the film, and a couple of them were kind of awkward because he like lip synced them and stuff. Anyway, it's a little odd. But the narrative drive of the film, this is an hour and a half film, that was just lagging. So as a piece of cinematic work, it needs to be honed a little bit more and find exactly what that story is, and just drive it home. And that narrative needs to be moving all the time, constantly escalating. And I think it might be in there if they kind of chisel it down, looked at it a little bit differently. But again, you know, as a single dad, it's good to see these kinds of films. Cheers.
I loved the message of this film. I loved how they're breaking the stereotype and perceptions of Black men as fathers. I also thought that there was a crazy amount of musical talent in this, and the lyrics for the songs were really brilliantly done, and it touched my heart. It really did. There was so much that I really liked about this, and that I learned too from watching this. I loved the fact that the older men are talking to the teens and telling them and sharing their feelings, explaining to them that they respect them, that the younger men have earned their respect. I think that was a really, really cool thing. I think that one of the things that touched me the most was to see this group of men sitting around a table and sharing stories, but not just any kind of stories. They were sharing these really emotional and vulnerable moments, and they were not afraid to do so. And I think that is a great thing, because even guys need a support system. They need an outlet. They need people that they can talk to. And yeah, and that was something that I thought was really, really amazing. I loved the way that this was shot, all of the interviews. Technically, everybody was heard. It was shot really well. It looked really beautiful. And yeah, I loved this. I thought that it was great.